Claire.
Hey.
We started doing these sessions in NeuroSpark over the last quadrimester that we call Synapse Sessions, where it's an opportunity to actually have mentorship, discussion, Q&A. There's no actual specific lecture. It's really a chance to show up with your specific questions and brainstorming and sharing. So prompted by some different mentee questions and polls and stuff to get the conversation flowing. I'm really enjoying these Synapse sessions. What are you thinking about them, Claire? Anything you want to share?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan and that's why NeuroSpark is so great is we get to see like how do we like to learn and what goes well and what do we feel like we're missing. And it doesn't feel like we need a lot more lectures in this world.
Right.
There's a lot of content out there, lectures. We all love to learn. I just think that step of learning things, but then taking it into the clinic and trying it, and sometimes it goes well and sometimes it doesn't go well. And then often it helps to brainstorm with your colleagues and talk about things. And it's just hard for that to actually happen at work. Work is very busy. If you do have a cancellation, you're doing paperwork. And if you have a cancellation, your colleague may not. And there just isn't as much time for discussion and mentoring at work as there was. So yeah, we've had a lot of lectures in the years that we've had NeuroSpark, and we'll continue to have lectures on specific topics. But it was like, okay, we need dedicated time to come together and just ask questions and brainstorm and bring up patient situations and things that are challenging, and just that opportunity to share. And the chat is always so active and people are unmuting and sharing things. So we do come and have a topic that we're planning on it. So it's not like it just completely open forum, but we've got a topic we're going to talk about. We usually have had lectures on that topic so people can watch those lectures to prepare for it or just be thinking about any patient scenarios that they have or questions that they have or things that they want to share. So we do have a bit of structure, and then we can all come together. We love to learn, but there needs to be more opportunity for this brainstorming
and playing.
So, yeah, and trying things out. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of these calls that we started just pretty recently, but yeah, I'm really enjoying them. I'm loving just the space to process information and think about it and to hear from other people. And our experience so far has been that when patients hear that we're bringing up their cases and talking about them, I think it makes them feel special in that, like, we do care, all neurotherapists, we really care a lot. And therapists in general and healthcare professionals in general, we really care so much about the people that we're working with. And I think for them to hear that we're bringing that and we're getting ideas and we're learning from other people and we're also sharing things that help, I think it's really cool for them to know that is happening too.
I wrote down a few takeaways from tonight that I can share. Do you have anything else that you want to say first?
No, go right ahead. Yeah, I want to hear you.
Okay, I wrote down a few little things here. Although our NeuroSpark people have a workbook, I just put it on a Post-it note for now. Okay, so one of the things that came up was working with people of ataxia, fatigability can be an issue. So this could be they have ataxia because of MS or for another reason, but fatigue can really sneak up on them and make it difficult for them to do things they need to do in daily life. And there were actually several different either lectures and or posters at CSM shared around these topics too, but the discussion was doing short bursts of intense activity, like short bursts of walking followed by true rest was better than doing like a moderate or a low intensity type of performance, like gait, for example. So there you would walk in like a short burst. So walking for a burst of time and then some true rest over a 20-minute bout of like training with them was better in their gait outcomes than if they walked the whole 20 minutes.
Like at a slower pace.
At a slower pace. So like doing things in shorter bursts and giving them true rest is going to be really helpful for outcomes as well as preventing too much fatigue. So that's one takeaway. Using breath more. So this is something I feel like we probably all could do a little better with. I really do think we should have Mary Mastery come on and do a NeuroSpark call. I know we've had her on our list for a while. So using an exhale as you're returning to a sit, for example, was one that was given, especially like if you're using polls or something else too as an external cue or support. And then exhaling, counting backwards as you go down to sit will help the person to engage better and use their breath better. I think there were more reasons that were really beneficial for that.
Yeah. And just thinking, I took took one of Mary Massery's courses, and it just was really interesting thinking about our breath. And basically, like when we want to push open a heavy door is when we actually bear down and hold our breath to be able to generate strength. When we are moving, though, what the research shows is that controlled inhaling and exhaling, and I think more so the exhaling, but having some control of it really helps with balance. So one of the recommendations in the course was even for people when they're like at home by themselves is to actually talk or sing as they move around their environment. And that is actually going to help them have better balance. And it is so common for people with neurologic diagnoses to be holding their breath or to have uncontrolled exhalation.
Yeah.
And so to train people to be able to exhale in a more controlled way, maybe it's pursed lips, but having more control over their breathing and doing that with exercise, and then maybe training them where they can do some talking or singing or something. We don't necessarily want it to have to be a dual task, or maybe we do, but something that can help them have a little bit better breath support is likely going to help them be more stable and have better balance, which is so often one of the things that we're working on for people with cerebellar ataxia.
I know for sure it was like exhaling, counting backwards from 10 as you return to sit can help with control. I did use this with a patient who used to flop whenever he would go to sit, and made him like control it, exhaling and counting out loud. And it definitely improved his return to sit control. So that is a really good one to start using with people with ataxia, or otherwise just people who need better balance control. And then another one, just to give one more quick example for proximal control. So this could be pillow slams, like throwing the pillow or hitting the pillow or throwing it on the ground, pillow fight perhaps. Or if someone's strong enough, using a medicine ball or another ball and slamming it on the ground. I know you do this at Rogue, right, Claire? Do slam balls forward, even behind the shoulders. What have you found about the slams?
I think we were talking about just for engaging the core and proximal stability. I would say people love doing them because they're fun.
There's Maya.
Sorry. Yep, there's Maya at the door. Somebody probably getting a delivery or something. Yes. Like slams, I think, are good for a lot of things, but it is one of those exercises that really makes people feel strong and powerful and has an emotional component that is very engaging as well, in addition to the physical benefits. So yeah, we do lots of slams. And when it comes to medicine balls, there are light medicine balls. So you can get ones that are like 4-6 pounds, even that are big. And again, I think the emotional context of exercise makes such a difference too. That's why I think one of the reasons why boxing can be so popular is when people feel strong and confident in whatever they're doing for exercise, that is additionally beneficial beyond just what the physical benefits are. And I feel like slams are something that allow people to maybe get out a little bit of frustration, or it's fun and it makes them feel a different way, which is also powerful.
So if you want to know more about NeuroSpark, go to joinneuroSpark.com so you can learn when we're opening again, which won't be till May, but you can just see a little more about what it's about and get on our priority list so you can be the first to know when it's opening again.